Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another Doctor Who video. Today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who Season 1 Episode 2, The Devil's Chord. I'm just going to give you my first thoughts. I've even written some notes, that's how professional we're feeling today. I've got to say, the start of this episode I thought was absolutely fab. It was definitely the single most bizarre thing I think Doctor Who has ever done, literally ever. I can't think of a more out there episode, and I haven't actually seen any reaction from the fandom online yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be divisive. I think there's going to be almost a 50-50 split of you absolutely love this episode, or you sat there the entire time going, what on earth am I looking at? In my opinion, the first scene, it sold me straight away. I really loved Jinx Monsoon as Maestro. Like, that character was fantastic, and just the whole performance there was, brilliant. I do want to say though, it's a little bit of a shame that we've sort of skipped along the Doctor and Ruby's timeline. I was really looking forward to seeing Ruby's family. At the end of Space Babies, the TARDIS lands in Ruby's flat, but then the Devil's Chord we start months later. I think they say it's July, and so that's like they've been travelling together for 6 months. I feel like, I don't know, it's a little bit of a shame. We've missed out on 6 months of the Doctor's and Ruby's chemistry. But, I mean, the flow of the episode was really nice. Ruby asking to go and see the Beatles, I thought was really fun. Now, the Beatles themselves, there were a lot of people moaning online about they don't look that much like the Beatles. I'm not, I love the Beatles music, but I don't know that much history. To me, they were the Beatles. They were fun. They were cool. It's a bit of a shame they didn't get more to do, but for what they did to serve the story, I thought they were fine. It was a nice bit of fun, and I do love the initial setup where they go into Abbey Road and all of these famous musicians and the orchestra are just playing old crappy nursery rhymes because music itself has gone from the world. I thought that was really fab, and I do want to emphasise, I think one of the things this era does perfectly is casting. Like, every role, the Doctor, Ruby and Maestro, they're just so good. I loved Space Babies as well. The chemistry of all the characters is really fab in this new era. Ruby playing what I think is her theme on the piano, that was quite nice. I thought the sequence maybe went on a little too long. Maybe that's a bit of a nitpick, but I did like, seeing the effect that music has on all these people. I will say though, the pacing I thought was maybe a little odd, because the start, once again, is fun. The ending is fun, but there's just always a little bit of like a section in the middle I think goes on a little bit too long. I felt the same about the Church on Ruby Road and Space Babies and now the Devil's Chord, so hopefully in future episodes that's sort of rectified. Also, we've got to quickly highlight Miss Merridew, or that woman from the Church on Ruby Road, or whoever she is, played by Susan Twist, who we presume to be ending up as Susan Triad, this mysterious figure that keeps cropping up. Is she the one who waits that gets name-dropped by Maestro, or is she someone else? Is she a character like the meddling monk, appearing and changing gravity to mavity, always being there watching the Doctor and Ruby on their adventures? I don't have many theories immediately after seeing that episode. She was just playing the tea lady, but it's something to bear in mind going into the future of the series. Now, I also have to say 2 things about costume designers. 1, the costume designer for this episode, brilliant, perfect. Set, costume, look, everything was genuinely phenomenal. And there's something about the sound, maybe it's just because I was listening to it from like really HD speakers, but it just, the soundscape of both recent episodes, I absolutely love. It was so cool. And, fun little fact, the costume designer for, I think like the Tom Baker era, the woman who knitted Tom Baker's scarf, actually made a little cameo. She was that old woman who looked out the window and then got absorbed into the piano by Maestro. I also want to highlight Maestro being I think they're described as like the child of the toy maker. That was really interesting. I knew they'd be like one of the toy maker's legions, but actually saying that they are the toy maker's child, that was really fun, and I think it worked really nicely. The fact that they sung the little giggle tune, and then the Doctor panics, freaks out and runs, like, I loved that moment. And seeing the Doctor in such sort of jeopardy when he's always so calm was genuinely kind of terrifying. I do think though the line from Ruby, like, you never run away, was a bit odd, because we've only seen one adventure of the pair, and he literally did run away from the bogeyman. So I know it's supposed to be like they've travelled together for 6 months, but that comes back to my point at the start of this video. It's a bit of a shame that that was off screen. It would be really, really nice to have seen those adventures, and that would have slightly justified Ruby's "you never run away" line a little bit more than just sort of feeling like, let's amp up the tension. I also, in terms of tension, loved the Pyramids of Mars rip-off scene. I mean, I say rip-off, Doctor Who's allowed to repeat ideas. If you remember back to the Pyramids of Mars, when Sutekh, like Sarah Jane's like, Sutek's going to destroy the world, the Doctor shows Sarah, this is Earth if we don't stop Sutekh, and showing Millie, well, showing Ruby that, I thought was absolutely fantastic. It's also doing a really nice job of establishing the time travel rules to potential new Doctor Who audiences, because obviously this is the big premiere, Disney Plus, worldwide. It's establishing Doctor Who's rules of time travel, which I thought was really nice. As I've mentioned, the pacing in the middle was a little bit off, in my opinion. Nothing major. It just felt a bit like, I don't know, come on, let's keep the pace going. That Ruby bit with the snow, I'm still stumped on. It's fascinating me, and I genuinely can't wait to see where it goes, which is really nice, because sometimes with Doctor Who, you get these mystery boxes which feel a little bit like, oh, so it's who's this character? But this mystery, there's more to it than just who is this character. There's so many little pieces all falling into place. You've got the Susan Twist character, you've got Ruby's, like, the snow, you've got that music, you've got the one who waits, you've got whatever the hell happened to the Master in the Golden Tooth at the end of the Giggle. I think all of this is going to culminate into a fantastic, if not this season finale, eventual season finale. This is where my thoughts on the episode go a little bit downhill. As fantastic as all the performances were, I do think the conclusion and how they get rid of Maestro is a little too easy. I had a similar issue with just solving the Toymaker's appearance with a game of catch. It just kind of feels like, is there something more we could be doing? We've got such a big budget. I don't know, maybe make it more visual. What if the Beatles were also in the room while all the weird musical stuff was going on, and maybe other musicians were trapped in instruments, or the orchestra were trapped in their instrument? Do you know what I mean? Just some more oomph than just the three characters in a really big empty room. I did kind of, like, I get the conclusion. That was nice, but yeah, I don't know what it was lacking, but for me it was slightly lacking something. And then the moment that just made me and my family sit there and go, what? Is Russell all right? The ending song was... I can't even say I didn't like it. I kind of did. It kind of slapped. It was just bizarre. It was so random. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, it's just... it is Doctor Who, but that's not the Doctor Who we're used to, and I kind of love the freshness of it. I love that Doctor Who is experimenting. It's doing these really bizarre things. It's thinking outside the box. It's not the same old show that we know and love, but at the same time, it absolutely is the same old show that we know and love. The music itself, I can't lie, I didn't think it was the catchiest song ever. I much preferred the Goblin song from the Church on Ruby Road, but overall, I thought it was fun. It was fun. I did think, though, it's a shame that we didn't get a proper sort of ending. Not like the Doctor needing a proper goodbye to the Beatles or anything, but yeah, and obviously they can't license Beatles music, but just think how much that ending would have absolutely slapped if they sung a Beatles song to end up the thing. Like, there's always a twist. I get it, it's funny, but I don't know. It just, once again, felt like it was lacking a little something. But to summarise my thoughts, overall, I really enjoyed that episode. It's nowhere near perfect, and it is a little bit of a mess, but it's an incredibly fun mess, and an incredibly fun mess that I can't wait to rewatch soon. But, as ever, let me know your theories and thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do like, comment, subscribe. This channel has got all the Doctor Who goodness you need. I'm going to stop flailing this pen around. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.